Council Member Kristina Walker. I don't get to see enough of her because I've got to see her for 3 weeks in a row now, and I love it, and I know I'm going to have withdrawals. Welcome back to Cityline.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are fabulous. I would be remiss if I didn't start our conversation with the latest news on multimodal transportation and safety, because you are the woman. You are the one. You were the original downtown on the go goddess, and you are a great champion of enhancing our multimodal transportation and our road safety. Are there any updates you'd like to share? Like you got me a bike, ring, ring, ring? No, it's okay.
Oh, always. There's so much good work happening. So we have just opened the next segment of East 64th Street. If you haven't seen it, it is beautiful. It is safe to walk, safe to bike, safe to drive. There's parking, there's art, there's trees. It is a beautiful, beautiful project. That just opened, and then the new segment of the Prairie Line Trail in Tacoma, which is an amazing connection. They feel like important public works projects.
Yes.
And they help people get around.
They do.
And this is about two things. It's about the environment, because transportation is the #1 source of greenhouse gases. So we got to help people be able to choose something other than their car. And a third of us don't drive, whether that's being too young, too old, having a disability, not being able to afford a car.
There we go.
There are so many reasons why people don't drive, and we can't make it so unsafe and hard to do, right? We just had the week without driving. Yes. It's hard to get around the city without a car. There are some places that are great, right? We're right here by the link. What a great, great addition. There's new bike lanes into and out of downtown. It's amazing. But if you have to cross I-5, that's not fair.
Exactly.
That's not fair. We want to keep people safe.
We do.
The other thing we're doing is in 2026, we're going to add some speed cameras. The state gave us the authority to do this. And we've spent a ton of time figuring out where they go. We'll do a ton of education and outreach and warnings beforehand. The goal is to keep people safe. So let's all just slow down.
So that's a check. My producer's listening. You're going to be back on the couch talking about that.
I would be happy to.
Let's talk about the Cultural Access Program, and it's known as Tacoma Creates. Yay!
We love Tacoma Creates.
We do. Tell us about the work, because this was a re-up.
Yes. So we, the people of Tacoma, funded Tacoma Creates for 7 years and funded amazing amounts of arts and cultural programs. Between $7 and $8 million every year went out to the community. It was time to re-up it. In the meantime, the state said it's okay if the council approves that. So we took that opportunity and we approved that a couple weeks ago. So Tacoma Arts and Culture will be funded for another 7 years.
Yes.
It is sales tax, so it ebbs and flows based on how much people are spending locally. So buy local.
Buy local.
Supports the arts and many other things. But we are up and ready to go for another 7 years.
Oh, this makes my little artist heart so happy. I remember 32 years ago when this wasn't around, and you really hoped and prayed that your ticket would help something come back again. Speaking of things that come back, this year we've seen a lot of news from other cities that have experienced some really devastating environmental challenges. Texas, floods. From fires to floods, what are we doing in Tacoma to build resilience? Because that climate change is there and it's picking up speed.
Well, the beautiful thing about Tacoma is we have a climate action plan. We know exactly what we need to do to get there. This is why I do so much transportation work, because that's the biggest contributor to greenhouse gas. There's a ton of policy work that we have to do in the interim. And one of the big, huge things that's going to happen at the end of this year is the Tide Flats Sub-Area Plan. This is a thing people have been saying for years, right? Most people have heard of that thing. What actually is it? It's a whole new package of zoning and code for our Tide Flats area. And we have worked, the city has worked with the county, City of Fife, the Puyallup Tribe, and the Port over 7 years to make this happen. So we'll take the final vote in December. It reduces the amount of pollution that we'll see in the Tide Flats. It looks at where we want businesses, where we want transportation.
Yes.
All of these pieces are in that package. But really the power of it is it came from those 5 governments. We all work together to make it happen.
I just can see in my mind, wow, bringing all those people together, the brilliance, but also the time it takes to let everybody say what they need in terms of the interests they have. So now that you've accomplished that, let's talk about what you're looking forward to in 2026 as a council member.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be a broken record about finding more funding for multimodal transportation. We put some additional funding into our pedestrian investments this year. So a dedicated 15% to crosswalks, sidewalks, missing link sidewalks. It can go to things like street lights, things that make it easier to walk around. So looking forward to getting those investments on the ground. We've done the policy work, but seeing that we're going to see these speed cameras come in and make sure we're keeping our people on the streets safe.
I love the 30 mile an hour. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's a ton of work to do around transit. So I'm really proud to serve on both the Pierce Transit and the Sound Transit boards as the representative from Tacoma. And we've got a lot of work to do. We got to get that light rail to Tacoma.
Yeah, we do.
And we've got to get local transit moving around so that you can get to the light rail. So a lot of work that'll be done around transit on both of those entities next year. And the city of Tacoma is ready to match that, right? When there's a stop for a bus, the city builds the sidewalk, right? So we have to be working together in tandem. And so there's a lot of great work that's happening there in making sure our agencies are talking to each other.
Well, and all we have to do is look out our windows here at the TV Tacoma studios and look at the light rail that comes by. And, and that is an example of how well our city partners. As you just said, it's one thing to have, you know, a bus going by or light rail, but you got to have a sidewalk too. So, you know, it's a beautiful dance that it looks like the city has mastered beautifully.
Yeah.
What other highlights would you like to share in this last minute?
Well, I think there's a photo flashing around of me planting trees last weekend.
Oh my gosh, there it is.
Green Tacoma Day was so awesome. Our partners at Tacoma Tree Foundation, hundreds and hundreds of trees were planted that day with volunteers as part of the Green Blocks program. This is another thing, as you're talking about partnerships and what it feels like to walk around on the streets. When there's trees, it feels better.
Tree index.
No, exactly. We know the temperature is lower in the summer, so we're going to do a lot of investments in the next year in trees in our city. I'm doing a lot of work on tree policy right now, and that's going to come forward. We're taking a lot of time working with the Planning Commission, but that's going to come forward at the end of this year as well.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You and I talk a lot about, I just got back from Copenhagen, and Copenhagen is the #1 city in the world for zero carbon emissions. And boy, they cycle everywhere. And for the 10 days I was there, I got around on the bus. The bus system is so good. And so, you know, everybody has to do something to help those emissions. And you are such a champion for that, and you are so consistent, and you keep your word. Kristina Walker, I adore you, and I want you back on the couch in 2026.
Anytime. Anytime.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. We have much more to come on Cityline. Don't go away. We'll be right back.